Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, tornado victims in Vernon County are facing new hurdles as we see rain, thunderstorms, and power outages complicating recovery efforts.
Also, Pittsburgh police arrest 2 suspects linked to recent thefts thanks to a revealing video.
And we are tracking thunderstorms rolling through the area. Some of those are severe. The latest coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Samantha Walker.
I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 o'clock now on this Friday, April the 4th. And again, we are continuing to track strong 2 severe thunderstorms pushing through the area. And as we mentioned yesterday, it's going to be the case again today for folks in the Moundville and Nevada areas. Thunderstorms, whether they're severe or not in your area, definitely not helping with the recovery and cleanup efforts out there.
No, I know they've been working on it a lot. The process to repair and cleanup is well underway, but those impacted by Wednesday's tornado in Vernon County, Missouri, face those serious challenges you were talking about. Storm victims are still battling the elements as they deal with the damage.
And for starters, yesterday they had more rain, some thunderstorms out there, and many still don't have power. KOAM's Anthony Saviello says despite the challenges, there's been no shortage of assistance from people and organizations in the surrounding area.
Despite the wet conditions, utility crews work to restore power to those in Moundville and Nevada. Dozens of trucks working to keep the time without power to a minimum. But there are also those working to make sure no one goes hungry.
We responded down with a team of our volunteers to come provide hydration and snacks yesterday is what we did. So that's what we ended up starting with yesterday. Today we're here to provide the meals for all the residents and the first responders and the volunteers helping to do the cleanup.
And that everyone has a place to sleep.
I have a bunch of cots set up. We're doing as much as we can at the moment, especially with it just being a brand new shelter. And then foods, making sure everyone's okay, and then we're going to start opening cases soon.
With donations pouring in from all over.
And you've seen that in this community. This is a great community. People just coming out to help their neighbor, don't know their neighbor, but they're coming out to help, and that's what we love to see.
Scott Lemaster, founder of Taking It to the Streets Disaster Relief, is also trying to make sure that those who are going out of their way to help others are taken care of as well.
And a lot of times you'll find in disasters that the first responders might be sitting on a corner, like just for instance the chief of police for Jasper was out there on the corner for 8-10 hours. And so when we go out there, we make sure that they have hydration, snacks, meals.
In Nevada, Missouri, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Vernon County officials say the full restoration of power in the county is not expected for another 2 to 3 days.
Now, for people seeking help in Nevada, they can find it at the Nevada Community Center or the Centennial Building at the Vernon County Fairgrounds. And of course, facing a lot of challenges as it is, and then a couple of days of showers and storms, even if they're not severe, still does not help those recovery efforts.
Especially not the power restoration. It's not safe to be up there.
Exactly. And with the lightning chances, it's not safe to be outside trying to do cleanup. You got to remember, when thunder roars, head indoors, and you're going to have to do the same again today. Let's start that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, we've got our cameras pointed to the south and west, because that's, again, the direction these storms will be coming from this morning. We also have patchy fog. It's one of those things, if you go outside right now, it certainly doesn't seem as though severe weather is a possibility, but it absolutely is, because it's not always the air temperature that matters. It's the amount of instability and moisture, or basically the fuel we can get for storms. And early this morning, we began to see a surge of that into northeastern Oklahoma and at least into southwest Missouri, which is why we are tracking those storms. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. See, we've had some drizzle out there, and we still have that patchy fog in the Joplin area as well, with those clouds out there, and we got the storms on the way. So here's what we're looking at. Again, we still have the severe thunderstorm watch, still only for Delaware, Benton, McDonald, and Berry counties until 11 o'clock this morning. But you can see we have severe thunderstorms now off to our south and west. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of drag down here. So we have this complex of storms. Look at the volume of lightning within that complex. That's what becomes dangerous enough as it is on top of any severe threats. So just in this complex alone, that is 630 lightning strikes. So you've got to take this seriously. So these storms are continuing to push off to the north and east. We're going to take a look at the bigger complex here. The northern part of that complex is moving. It's picked back up again. It is moving northeast at 90 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the other one. Just going to see where we're sitting. The whole complex now moving northeast at 90. So bear with me just one moment, if you will. We're going to do a new storm track, but what we're going to do is we're going to tell the computer that these storms are now moving northeast at 90. So we're going to take this line here and drag it off to the north and east. And at 90 miles an hour, that puts it in Grove at 717. Joplin, Miami by 7:33, Joplin by 7:45, Monette by 7:53, 8 o'clock Pittsburgh, 8:08 in Lamar, and 8:20 in Stockton. So we've got to watch this complex very carefully. It has been cycling since it's been out this morning, where it intensifies and it kind of weakens a bit, then it re-intensifies, but it's all merged into this big complex here. And then on top of all that, I did not want to do that, but that's okay. We have to watch for additional development taking place back behind this. This complex is not going to be our only chance of thunderstorms today. We could have another round of strong to low-grade severe storms roll through roughly the same areas between about 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. today. We're going to continue to monitor these storms for any additional watches or warnings because, again, we don't have any warnings in our area yet. But if that changes, we'll pop in and let you know. We'll also talk about our weekend snow chances, because Mother Nature hasn't thrown enough at us, here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thanks, Chris. Berry County prosecutors have charged a man and woman in connection with a murder last month. Brandy Coburn of Verona, Missouri, and Jimmy Taylor of Exeter, Missouri, are charged with first-degree murder and abandonment of a corpse. The charges stem from a death about March 11th at a house in Verona. Authorities say Coburn and Taylor shot Marvin Lance McCool, then transported the body in the trunk of a car to a farm and set it on fire. The pair are being held without bond. Pittsburgh police arrest 2 suspects in connection to a string of thefts, including one where the thieves were caught on camera stealing a camera. The crimes happened between March 28th and April 2nd. Police were not able to nail down the suspects until this video was shared. It shows one person shining a light into a home, and the second person comes in after and steals the camera. We have more information about the crimes at KOAMnewsnow.com. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. As tariffs make their impact across the nation, what about here in the 4 states? KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke with local experts from Pitt State University and AAA on how these tariffs can affect you.
I like building stuff, and I like to see a project from the beginning to the end. So it's something like I'm passionate about.
Jorge Narvaez is a senior at Pitt State. He says he has dreams of being in the construction business one day. He says he has no worries about the economy, at least for now.
For now, I think that I'm good, but like I've heard that the job market's kind of going a little down. But for construction management, there's always opportunities.
Surely he hopes it stays that way, and so do many others. But with these new tariffs facing the nation, Pitt State professor of economics Alex Binder says he has his own fears.
Worst case scenario is that businesses facing the uncertainty about tariffs from other countries and from our own will lay off employees.
And not only that, Professor Binder says it could really affect your wallet.
The most likely initial effect are that prices for many consumer goods will go up.
And what about those gas prices in our area? That's a question for AAA spokesperson Nick Shabaria.
Price per gallon at local stations, could range anywhere from 12 to 15 cents per gallon increase as a result of some of the tariffs.
With all that information, hopefully Jorge has a backup plan.
A backup? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, probably just work regular construction if it doesn't work.
Will these tariffs be good or bad to our economy? Only time will tell, according to our experts. Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Professor Binder says because of the uncertainty with tariffs, it's probably not a good idea to retire right now. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next. With spring here, now may be a good time to get out to do some shopping. We'll hear how the Webb City Spring Shop Hop will be the place to be. And later, we'll take a look into how climate change is proving to be a challenging factor for gardeners. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Spring is here, and that means the annual Webb City Spring Shop Hop is geared up and ready to go. Kylie Vasquez, one of the event organizers, is with us this morning to share more about how it started and what you can expect to see. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us, Kylie.
Good morning, Sam. Thank you so much for having me here.
Can you tell us a little bit about, what the Webb City Shop Hop is, for those who may not know?
Of course. So the Webb City Shop Hop is an annual event that the Webb City downtown merchants put together. What it is we all come together and we really try to highlight each other's businesses, as well as try to do something to, prepare for Easter. It's that time of year. Everybody's getting busy preparing their Easter baskets and whatnot. And we really like to give you an opportunity to get ahead of all that.
Great. It sounds like a great tradition. How long has this been going on for?
Oh, it's been going on for, as long as I've lived in Webb City at least, which is at least 7 years or so. But I couldn't say off the top of my head, unfortunately, but it's been a really great event since I've lived in the town, and I've really enjoyed it.
It sounds like something the community has really grown to love. So can you tell me a little bit about how this got started?
Of course. So, like I said, we really wanted to highlight each other's businesses as well as give you guys an opportunity. A really great thing about this event is it's free entry to itself. A lot of different sales for the events, as well as any of our parents who are looking to do any early Easter photos. The Society Marketplace, which is one of our participants, they are having a free Easter photo session for parents from, I want to say it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're going to have the Easter Bunny there, so make sure to bring your kids down as well.
That sounds like so much fun. Can you tell me about some of the other vendors who may be participating this year?
Oh, of course. We're going to have Spencer's Sweet Call. They're a local candy confectionery shop. If you've never had any of their homemade candy, it's amazing. They have a giant Easter candy or a giant Easter bunny, literally the size of my head, that will be for sale. So if that's something that you're interested in, they're really great. Twisted Oak Boutique, as well as Paint Chips and Glitter, will be participating. I know Paint Chips and Glitter will be having a bloom bar for those of you who want to have a little bit of spring on what will possibly be a gloomy day with the weather.
Great. Okay, perfect. And what are some of the prizes that may be available we're hearing about?
Oh, of course. So the, like I said, the event itself is free. However, we are having a VIP basket. So with that includes coupons to every single store, as well as entry into a big gift basket that has giveaways from different spas, restaurants. I know that our venue itself, Nexus and OCH Event Center, we are giving away a ticket experience to a Sips and Succulent class that we're having. So it's going to be a lot of fun things in there.
Great. And just kind of to wrap up, can you give us one more time, when that's going to be and where people can find you guys?
Oh, of course. It will be happening this Saturday, April 5th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We are really looking forward to seeing you all there.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kylie, for joining us this morning. Chris will have a full look at your forecast when we come back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 7:17 on this Friday morning. Some new information just coming in right before we went to that commercial break. The severe thunderstorm watch has been extended to now include Craig, Newata, and Ottawa counties in northeast Oklahoma. The expiration time does remain the same at 11 a.m. But again, mentioned it was a possibility. Not really surprised by this extension. We also now have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Craig County and most of Delaware County. And this severe thunderstorm warning runs through 8 o'clock this morning. This line of storms is moving northeast at 80 miles an hour, which is just, again, absolutely incredible. So we're going to do a quick storm track. It slowed down a bit. Initially, that warning had it the initial warning had it moving at about 90. So we're going to kind of draw a line on this thing, and we're going to push it off to the north and to the east. We're telling the computer it's moving at 80, so we're looking at Grove at 7:27, so about 9 minutes from now. Pineville, 7:35. Miami, about 20 minutes or so from that, 7:47. Joplin just after 8:12 in Mount Vernon. And so we're going to continue to track these storms. But take a look even into southeast Kansas, where there's no severe threat right there right now. Lightning picking up, and this activity is all going to continue to track off to the north and east. So for those of you in Moundville and Nevada, if you're doing cleanup again this morning like yesterday, when thunder roars, head indoors. Make sure you've got a shelter nearby for the chance of any thunderstorm activity that may come your way. The other thing we've got to watch is this is not our only round of storms. We have new thunderstorm development, as you can see, taking place back behind this line across Oklahoma. This will bring more showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe as we head into the afternoon. So we've got to keep a very close eye on that as well. So here's a look at this complex, all of it developing. And you see earlier this morning, about 4 or so, we had just these little splotches, but we got just enough fuel for storms pulled in that they started to organize. Now we've got this whole cluster really stretching from north central Arkansas all the way back toward Tulsa, continuing to race off to the northeast. In fact, take a look. You can see how these storms here just kind of joined right in with this complex. At this point, 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail are the primary concern with these storms. But the other concern, take a look at that lightning. We've had counts anywhere from 6 to nearly 900 lightning strikes, which is why we're saying even if you don't necessarily get a severe thunderstorm warning, this lightning is still dangerous and deadly. And then, as I mentioned, take a look. You can see how quickly this complex has made it from near Wichita Falls to Tulsa since about 3:30 this morning, racing off. And then we've got all this new development that's taking place back behind it that we're going to have to watch. So what are we looking at? We're also looking at flooding concern. Do want to touch on that through at least Sunday morning. Flood watches along and south of the I-44 corridor. So remember, turn around, don't drown. If you know you're in a flood-prone area, or perhaps your route to work or to school or to church takes you through an area that you know is prone to flooding, you got to pay close attention and watch out for those potential flood warnings with the heavy rain. Again, our severe weather outlook for today will not update until closer to 8. They do update it early sometimes. And again, I think if anything changes, all we're going to see is the hail threat back up a little further to the north and west, because that again is going to be the primary concern with these storms. Once we get this first complex through the area, we'll have just scattered showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder, and then between about 2 and 6 is the window I believe is going to be our next opportunity for another round of strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms that will roll through the area. Once that pushes on off, we go back to another round of just isolated showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder overnight. More showers and storms and much cooler for our Saturday, but no severe weather is expected on Saturday. And then after we get into Saturday night and Sunday morning, temperatures drop, and we could see a transition to some light snow showers in the first half of our Sunday. No major accumulations or anything expected out of that, but just a heads up on that. Today, we got those winds gusting out of the northeast upwards of 25 miles an hour. That continues into the overnight hours. Highs around the mid-50s. Upper 40s Saturday, Sunday. North winds tomorrow could be gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour. Cold overnight. And as we head into the next work week, we thankfully do start to warm back up again. Temperatures back in the 60s and 70s. Let's check your forecast. We're going to continue to monitor these storms. Any new warnings or watches come out, we'll let you know. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Spring is now here, and as the flowers bloom, it's a reminder that plants are adapting to a changing planet.
Now, the EPA says leaf and bloom events are happening earlier in the year across much of the country. Bradley Blackburn has more on how plants and gardeners are adapting.
The Philadelphia Flower Show has displayed the wonders of Mother Nature for nearly 200 years. With Blue Ribbon Awards for plants in every size, shape, and color, it's the largest and oldest flower show in the world. And this year, the massive displays imagine gardens of the future that will be shaped by a warming planet.
Gardeners observe how the environment changes almost before anybody else.
With warmer global temperatures, the growing season is getting longer by more than 2 weeks compared to the early 20th century. But it's not necessarily good for plants.
Really overwhelming for most species to try to adapt to and keep up with.
Eve Bowery with the New York Botanical Garden says it's already fueling harmful invasive plants.
We're starting to see with climate change more of a turnover from native diverse ecosystems to sort of monocultures of invasive species.
One recent report found 45% of the world's flowering plants are at risk of extinction. But home gardeners can help by planting native species and protecting them.
Gardening, I think of as a superpower that lets you actually shape the environment. We talk about the idea of choosing your plants with intention and thinking about your garden as part of an ecosystem.
Science has a role too. Students at the University of Delaware showing how plants can go from lab to trial garden.
Seeing what works best where.
To test what will survive in new conditions.
With this kind of testing, you can adapt and change plants to be more humid and more heat tolerant.
Generations who may help generate plants that will grow into the future.
According to some estimates, 100,000 plant species may still be undiscovered, and the vast majority are likely threatened with extinction.
Certainly a lot going on with the plants. You know, I noticed that myself with those the early blooms, watching the trees come out a little early, and then we get those cold snaps, which doesn't help either. So,
I've just been enjoying getting to see the flowers and the trees as we have them now, and hopefully they're here to stay, but we don't know.
Certainly so.
Okay. Well, coming up, Parsons City Commissioners are discussing the expansion of fiber optic internet access to all residents, and all thanks to a Kansas-based company.
And we have strong, severe thunderstorms rolling through the area this morning. Another look at your forecast when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. I'm Samantha Walker. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the Newton County Sheriff's Office wants to help increase awareness. Each of these pinwheels represents a child abuse case worked by the department in the course of a single year. The department partners every year with the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri. The Parsons City Commission met with Ideatech yesterday afternoon to get an update on fiber optic internet for the city. Previously, fiber service was only available to businesses through Cox, but will now be accessible to all residents in Parsons. Ideatech is a Kansas-based company already serving several communities in southwest and central Kansas, and soon both Baxter Springs and Parsons in southeast Kansas.
And we've been building fiber internet over the last 2 decades across Kansas. We're really excited to be here in Parsons to do the same thing here. I wanted to be really forward with that with the City Commission, and also to all of the community that we're here to work with you guys. If there's a mess, we want to hear about it.
The Baxter Springs Chamber of Commerce held a ribbon cutting for Ideatech on Monday. The company plans to start laying fiber in Parsons April 17th. Goodman, Missouri police want to remind dog owners they must have their best friends registered with the city. All dogs must also be current on rabies vaccinations. They also want to remind owners if you let your dog out, they must be on a leash.
Dogs, people will let them out, go to the bathroom, they'll just run off, run free. We've had a few dogs that nobody wants to claim. Basically, we're just to a point where we can't figure out where they go. People don't want to own up to it. They don't want the citation for it. So rather than try to go that route, we'll just have them registered as the ordinance states.
Chief Atkins says the city of Goodman will also be conducting ordinance violation checks. Now a check-in with Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're continuing to track strong and severe thunderstorms rolling across the area. Quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We've had some fog, some drizzle, and it's very cloudy out there. Wind's already starting to gust. MoDOT camera 20th and range line showing the same thing. Still some wet roadways, had some light drizzle in the Joplin area. So this is what we want to focus on. First, I mentioned it early this morning as a possibility, and that possibility has come true. The severe thunderstorm watch has been expanded. It initially was expanded to include Craig, Newata, and Ottawa counties in northeast Oklahoma. It now includes Cherokee County in Kansas, Jasper, Newton, and Lawrence counties in Missouri. Now, the expiration time is still the same at 11 a.m. And we have this severe thunderstorm warning that includes most of Delaware County and the southeastern portions of Craig County out there until 8 o'clock this morning. So let's take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker itself. Here's this complex of storms. It has been going since about 3:30 this morning when it was down near Wichita Falls and has been racing off to the northeast. It's been also cycling. It intensifies and then it weakens a bit. Then it intensifies, it weakens a bit. The primary concern with this complex is going to be the possibility of large hail. We have been seeing some wind gusts to 60 and upwards of quarter-sized hail. This complex is now moving northeast. It's slowed down a little bit, moving northeast now at about 60 miles an hour. So we're going to adjust the computer and give you a quick updated storm track. So we're going to take it back to the back end of this thing, right about through here. putting it off to the north and east. So here's what we're looking at. 734 in Veneta. So right now, rolling into Veneta, 811 for Joplin, 754 for Miami, 813 in Columbus, 831 Pittsburgh, Lamar by 842, and unfortunately Nevada could be getting in on some of this if it holds and continues its track by about 9:04 this morning. There's been a lot of lightning with this activity. We're also watching the potential with redevelopment taking place across Oklahoma that will bring us additional showers and storms later this afternoon, and some of those could be strong, possibly severe as well. So our severe outlook, again, our greater concern is going to be for hail. We could see this expanded northwest, but this won't update until closer to 8 o'clock this morning. On to the future track, a quick note. Between 2 and 6 p.m., I believe, we're going to have another window for another complex of thunderstorms that could be strong, possibly severe, to go racing through the area and bring us, again, the chance for primarily, again, large hail out there. We're going to continue to track these storms. If any new warnings pop up, anything comes up like that, we will certainly let you know. And in our full forecast, we'll talk about those weekend snow chances. All that and more here in just a few more minutes. Samantha?
Thank you so much, Chris. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Shannon Becker joins us in the studio to share us his big 3 stories of the week. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning, Shannon. So thank you so much for joining us.
Well, you're doing a great job as always.
Well, thank you so much. So I know you've probably had a very busy week.
Maybe.
Yes.
And we might have a little bit more with this severe weather this morning. Chris has more details. Let's take a look, though, at our big 3 stories of the week. It was the morning of the Nevada and tornado, you maybe want to call it. It was actually not raining at the time at the Seneca Veterinary Clinic on Highway 43. It's actually been closed for years. The doctor had passed away, but a vacant property and very suspicious circumstances from the fire. The Newton County Sheriff is investigating along with the Missouri State Fire Marshal. Our number 2 story, Joplin News First, a bizarre crash just south of the Rainbow Bridge. Very bizarre. A single vehicle crash. A teenager from Baxter Springs went off the road and a car was impaled by the guardrail. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Shocking video.
I've seen on the internet, but never in person, obviously. The teenager did suffer serious injuries. She will recover, amazingly. That's great news, right? Our number 1 story of the week. It's no surprise it was about the severe weather. This is footage from Nevada. My friend Deputy Travis Goodwin, who used to be a Joplin police officer through the Joplin tornado, he works in Vernon County now and gave us a tour of the area as he was working that day. I mean, power lines down everywhere. The infrastructure is going to take a long time to get some of this stuff back together. I mean, like we just saw rail cars blown over. A lot of residents that you don't necessarily see on the major roads were destroyed in between the 2 towns, Moundsville and Nevada. This is a farm implement store, a New Holland dealer, totally destroyed, a lot of damage. Here at the golf course, you can see beautiful homes, but a lot of damage there. And looks like some kind of sheet metal building that had blown into the trees there. But amazingly, nobody was injured. Of course, I'm still blown away. No pun intended. I'm still blown away by that. In our bonus story of the week last night, I got to take a little sneak peek at the circus. It's happening at the old Big Lots in Webb City. So they've got times all weekend long. Look at them, they're doing the little dancing. That was the Aerial Air Force, and they got up on the ropes and did everything. They've got pony rides for the kids if you want to do that at intermission.
Very
the
fun.
Tarzan Zerbini Circus. You can find out more details on our website, KOAM News Now.
I know tonight we're also going to have a live look at that circus
Oh, are
at
we?
5 and 6 for
Okay,
KOAM.
great.
I believe Anthony Saviello is going to be there. He's going to have a blast as always.
I'll have to tag along. I want to go.
I mean, it looks like a fun time.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Especially after a busy week like you. I know you mentioned, these storms could have been a whole lot worse, a lot more
Definitely.
injuries. That crash,
Definitely.
she's going to recover. That fire was a business that was
Yeah.
no longer in operation. So I think kind of the theme I was feeling is this could have been so much
Yeah,
worse.
it could have for sure on everything today.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much again for joining us, Shannon. You can find more of his stories online on the KOAM News page as Joplin News First, as well on social media.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:43 now on this Friday morning. An active start to the day as well. Again, thankfully not like what we saw on Wednesday, but we do have severe thunderstorms pushing into the area. We have a severe thunderstorm watch, Cherokee County, and then Wauta, Craig, Ottawa, Delaware, and then Benton County, and then on the Missouri side, Jasper, Newton, McDonald, Berry, and Lawrence counties, all through 11 o'clock this morning. And we have that severe thunderstorm warning for most of Delaware County and southeastern Craig County until 8 o'clock this morning. So here's what we've got. This big cluster of thunderstorms out here that's pushing into the area. Again, the other concern is the lightning. It's come down quite a bit at the peak of all of this. This cluster right here alone had nearly 900 lightning strikes. It has come down a bit, but the lightning's still dangerous, still deadly out there, so you've got to be cautious. Quick look into that severe thunderstorm warning. Now, something I do want to mention to folks that's kind of been messing with the arrival times for you. This storm has made it all the way from about Wichita Falls to our area since 3 o'clock this morning. In just 4 hours, it has traversed the state of Oklahoma from southwest to northeast. It has weakened, it has intensified. It has weakened, it has intensified. So that's why we've got to watch it very carefully. But the other thing is its speed has changed. At one point, it was moving north at 90 miles an hour. Then it slowed down a bit, and then it sped up again. Right now, the latest warning information has it moving northeast at 80 miles an hour. So we're going to adjust the track for the computer and tell it that this cluster is now moving at 80 miles an hour. So again, bear in mind, these arrival times are not set in stone, especially considering this complex cannot seem to determine the speed at which it wants to travel. At this point, at that speed of 80 miles an hour, we're looking at Pineville by 7:53, so about 8 minutes from now, Miami at 7:56, Joplin 8:12, Pittsburgh by 8:25, Mount Vernon area, okay, getting some new information. Hold on here. Mount Vernon by 8:28, Greenfield by 8:41, and around Stockton by 8:54. But again, that's if it holds speed. If it speeds up, that could change. If it slows down, that could change. But at any rate, across southwest Missouri and parts of southeast Kansas, you want to make sure you're just prepared now for the arrival of this storm. Folks in Moundville, and Nevada, you need to be cautious as well. Just like yesterday, you may not necessarily see severe weather this morning, but with the lightning, it's still dangerous. It's still deadly. Make sure you've got a place to go. Thunder roars, head indoors. It's what we say during the nice days where you might be outside, but if those doing cleanup, you just want to make sure you've got a place to go if thunderstorms do approach your area. We do have some new information, not significant at this point. But we do have a new strong thunderstorm. It's moving north. I just was looking at this before we came back. It's moving north to 45. So it's not a severe thunderstorm warning, but this is for Newton, McDonald, southern Jasper County. That storm, which we're going to take a closer look at as well, is now lifting on the north side of McDonald County. It has intensified a bit here. It's got winds to 50 to 55 miles an hour and half-inch hail, so it is just below severe criteria at this point. So if that changes, of course, we'll let you know if it changes into a warning, but that storm is moving north now at about 45 miles an hour. All of this has been kind of blending together out there, and then we're not quite done yet. Take a look at development that's taking place back across Oklahoma. We're going to have additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and some of those could be strong to severe as well. This activity out here around the Oklahoma City metro will continue to lift off to the north and east, and I think by between roughly 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. We're going to have another round of what could be some strong to low-grade severe storms, similar to what we're seeing right now. But as we head into the afternoon, we'll just have some scattered showers and storms in between once this complex rolls out of the area. But also take a look. We're going back the whole time, and you see that complex just racing off to the north and east. If any new warnings are issued, actually as of right now, it looks like we have no current warnings. They've dropped the severe thunderstorm warning for Delaware and Craig counties. We'll keep you updated if there's any new warnings or any extensions to the watch. Of course, okay. And lightning just struck our station. I think we're still with you, but boy, that was that was a good lightning hit. But that goes back to, again, the lightning is dangerous. It is deadly. Make sure you're taking precautions. We'll continue to monitor these storms. Any new warnings pop up, anything like that, we'll pop right back in. We'll be back with more right after this.
Some South Bend doctors are turning to video games to help younger patients. A Rosie Place for Children has partnered with an organization that donates video game technology.
Kylan Hall tells us officials at A Rosie Place for Children are touting this positive change.
A Rosie Place for Children provides 100% respite for medically fragile children and their caregivers. Starlight Children's Foundation has built an outdoor play facility and provided portable game stations for the many young patients who stay overnight.
That partnership brings a level of engagement, distraction for that patient.
Starlight provides 26 of the most popular video games on the Nintendo Switch, and it's not just about having playtime during visits.
A once shy, scared child is now talking and playing and interacting and a lot more compliant even with their treatments.
Child life specialist Victoria DeJong says that studies have shown that switching from normal clothes to a hospital gown can be stressful for children, which is why Starlight also provides a specialized gown that's easier to wear.
So with that, we thought, okay, if we make something that is more child friendly, it's easier to access. It has snaps, it has ties, it's a little bit easier to put on. There's no openings like the typical gowns. It was just a lot more easy for a child to be able to comply to that.
Starlight provides the gowns, VR headsets, and the video games at no cost to the facilities they partner with.
We're not in a hospital context. And so the experience of Starlight's technology, apparatus, actually helps our kids have a more at-home experience, even though they might not have that same technology at home.
All right, we are, of course, continuing to track strong thunderstorms across the area. We have that severe thunderstorm watch in orange. It continues until 11 a.m., but as you can see, at least right now, we do not have any active severe thunderstorm warnings, but look at the volume of lightning from these storms across the region. We're going to continue to monitor them as they continue to lift off to the northeast. We have additional thunderstorm chances as we head into the afternoon hours. More on that and the news you need to know right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Berry County prosecutors have charged a man and woman in connection with a murder last month. Brandy Coburn of Verona, Missouri, and Jimmy Taylor of Exeter, Missouri are charged with first-degree murder and abandonment of a corpse. Authorities say Coburn and Taylor shot Marvin Lance McCullough, then transported the body in the trunk of a car to a farm and has set it on fire. The pair are being held without bond. Pittsburgh police arrest 2 suspects in connection to a string of thefts. The crimes happened between March 28th and April 2nd. Police were not able to nail down the suspects until this video was shared. After interrogation, both suspects were taken into custody Wednesday afternoon. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and the Newton County Sheriff's Office wants to help increase awareness. Each of these pinwheels represents a child abuse case worked by the department in a single year. The department partners every year with the Children's Center of Southwest Missouri.
All right, some good news, at least for now. We have no active severe thunderstorm warnings in our area, but we do have that severe thunderstorm watch through 11 o'clock. With this complex of storms continuing to race off to the north and east, additional shower and thunderstorm development is already taking place back across central Oklahoma, and that will eventually bring us opportunities for additional showers and thunderstorms, and we could see another round of strong, possibly severe thunderstorms between roughly 2 and 6 today. Highs mid-50s out there. Low 40s tomorrow and Sunday. More storms, no severe weather tomorrow. We could even have some light snow showers early Sunday as temperatures drop. But don't worry, the spring weather does. There's another lightning strike. But the spring weather does return as we head into next week.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Chris. I know that's something we. It was was the best photo bomb ever. What was a normal photo shoot at the tidal basin in Washington, D.C. turned into a memorable moment as former President Obama walked through the background.
It wasn't until after the president walked by when the family and photographers realized what had happened. When the photographer searched through her picture, she was amazed to find him in the background. Certainly an intriguing, just very cool photo bomb in general to have somebody like that bomb your photo.
Yeah, something to remember for sure.
Well, of course, we'll continue to track these thunderstorms. Any new warnings, anything serious pops up, we will, of course, pop in. And we will be back today at noon with more news and weather.
Have a great rest of your day.